So here's 10 tips that you should know to find winning products to sell on Amazon FBA using Helium 10. I've been selling on Amazon for about 3 years now, and it's not too late to get started, by the way. I know that's a very common question, is it too saturated? Is it too late? Is it still doable? Yes, absolutely. There are way more customers joining Amazon than sellers joining Amazon every single day, and it's literally millions of products that are on Amazon being sold. There's plenty of opportunity. So if you want to see how I got started and some other tutorials I've made on how to do product research and how to be successful at selling on Amazon, make sure and go check those out. Check out my playlists. I have an entire playlist on Amazon FBA. And to be completely transparent here, I know most people out there are doing this. I'm not. There's no course or mentorship program. There's absolutely zero tacked on to the back end of these videos. I just want to put out good information around online business, online sales, in this video specifically, Amazon using Helium 10. So let's jump in right into the first one here, which is, I used to use Jungle Scout. Actually, when I very first started on Amazon, I didn't know about software tools, so I did it in a much more manual way. But when I learned about software tools, what I learned about was Jungle Scout, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And Jungle Scout is what I used. Until probably about a year ago, I started poking around on Helium 10, but I will be honest, the first couple times I saw Helium 10, I was like, nah, not for me, I don't need that, because I was super set on Jungle Scout. And truth be told, you don't have to have Helium 10 to sell successfully on Amazon. And truth be told, you don't have to have Jungle Scout or any software tools to successfully sell on Amazon. But it makes it so much easier. And so I have switched from Jungle Scout to Helium 10, not for any specific reason other than it's a better product. Helium 10 has a bunch of different products in it, and all of them are better than any of Jungle Scout's products. So I've made a full switch over to Helium 10 just simply because their products, their software tools are better, more powerful, easier to use, more efficient, all that good stuff. I really am a big believer in Helium 10. Now with that said, the second that there's a better tool or Helium 10 lacks, I'm gonna be completely honest and make a video about whatever is the next tool that I'm using. So I'm not attached to any one tool. I just, whichever tools or software programs are best, I use those. And also, this is really cool, Helium 10 by far gives you the best bang for your buck. If you go try and get the same tools from other companies, it'll be more expensive and the tools just won't be as good. So I mean it when I say it, at least for now, that Helium 10 is the best. They have it all in one, all the best tools for the best price also. All right, so let's jump into number 2 now. And by the way, I've placed a link in the description to the Helium 10 website where you can check out all their tools and purchase them if you like. And if you use the code SCOSHOW, you can get 50% off of your first month or 10% off of every single month. So up to you how you want to set that up, but that's linked down in the description below. Number 2, I want to talk about, because one of the most difficult things I know for people, and this definitely happens to me, I've figured out some ways around this now, but is just get where to start doing your product research. Like blank slate, you're sitting down, you go Amazon.com, right, and it's like, all right, where do I start? Do I go to the bestseller section? What do I do? How do I start? And it's tough to get into it and actually get the ball rolling. So Helium 10 has a tool called BLACKBOX, which I think is a good tool to help you get the ball rolling. But I will be completely honest about how I feel about this tool, BLACKBOX, and not only BLACKBOX by Helium 10, but Jungle Scout has one like this, and other companies do as well. But these companies market this tool as hey, plug in the criteria XYZ, and boom, there's the perfect product. It'll spit at you the perfect product for you to start selling, and it just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work where you can plug in the criteria that you want, and hey, here's a list of perfect products for you. I've found that when you do that and try to do that, you still end up doing the same amount of research on Amazon.com. And it's not a quicker route to actually finding real legit products that you can actually start to sell. But what it is good for, and what it is a quick route to, is just to get the ball rolling, to get started, to find one product to start looking into, and then from there you're on your way. So here we are inside of Helium 10. And over here on the left is where you can click into all of their different tools. like I said, the first one we're going to dive into right here is BLACKBOX. Okay, and like I said, what BLACKBOX is going to allow you to do is input different ranges for different criteria, and it'll populate a list of different products for you based on the different stuff that you're inputting. Alright, so first it's going to have us select categories. So let's go home and kitchen, and then monthly revenue. So this is where it's just like, yeah, you can put in monthly revenue, and I want to make $100,000 revenue a month, then I want to come over here, review count, and I want to be able to do that with 5 reviews. Like, this doesn't really work out that way. But monthly revenue, so let's say minimum 5,000, and let's say maximum 30,000. Price, let's say minimum 12. Let's say $11.99. Let's say $11.90. Sometimes it's good, instead of putting like 12 or 25, to put like a decimal, like a 0.82 or something on it, just because it'll bring in different products than if you're just always searching like the even numbers or the 0.00 numbers. So if you just switch up your decimal points, it'll populate in different products. And then max price, let's go $39.21. Review count, let's set max at 67, and minimum, let's say 3. Review rating, shipping size tier, I'm just going to leave that off. Okay, so I'm just going to click search now. Alright, so here it just brought in a list of products for us. I'm going to zoom into these. And so right here we've got bonsai tree, owl shower curtains, psychedelic tapestry. So it looks like tapestries. Okay, so this is going to be seasonal, just because Christmas just happened. So I'm going to completely skip those. See what else is here. Alright, so let's go with this first one, bonsai tree owl shower curtain. So what you want to do is then come over here well, you can just copy paste that actually. So let's go bonsai, just copy paste that main keyword right there, come throw it into Amazon. Let's actually do this. Let's go owl shower curtain, widen this search a little bit. Okay, so now we've got a page of owl shower curtains. That's a pretty niche, honed in product, and we could start to look at some data and see what that looks like on here. I'm not going to do that quite yet. We are going to do that, but just real fast, if you wanted to bring in a different search, so you could go like this and just pick a different category now. Let's say kitchen and dining. Come over here, click search, and now you've got a list of different products here. So this one right here, like a sofa tray, maybe you want to check that out on Amazon. Alright, so that's bringing in like a bunch of different kinds, and you want to narrow in and hone in on one specific kind of sofa tray. So this one, there's like some of these have tilt on them, like they tilt, and bamboo. So let's try bamboo tilting sofa tray. So that worked pretty good. It's got some other ones mixed in, but that works pretty good. 113 results. And so that's how you can use Helium 10 BLACKBOX to just get the ball rolling and start to find some products to start looking into. Okay, now that we've honed in on some niche products to look at, bamboo tilting sofa tray and owl shower curtain. By the way, this is all completely off the top right here, like I never looked at these before. But so what we want to do is look at if these products are selling well, and if they are they competitive, or is there opportunity for us to jump in there and start selling it as well. So let's look at these bamboo tilting sofa trays. The tool that we're going to now use for this is Helium 10 X-Ray, which is Helium 10's Chrome extension. And so I can just click this icon up here and then click on X-Ray, and it'll bring up Helium 10 X-Ray. And what X-Ray is doing right now is loading into this box all of the data that's on this page that we're looking at. And what I mean by all of the data is all of these different columns you see right here. So it's giving us the ASIN, the brand name, the title, the category, buy box information. I'm not going to read every single one of those because there's a lot, but I will get to the main ones here that are most important to know and look at. But so what we want to do right here is start to analyze the demand. We want to see if this product is making a lot of sales every month. So we can do that by looking here at the sales column, and you can click these columns and sort high to low or low to high. So when I'm looking at sales, I like to sort high to low, so that way I can just quickly gauge top to bottom, are there a lot of sales that are happening. In this case, I'm seeing, what is that, like 7 different rows or something like that. That's making over 1,000 sales. These top ones here, 2, 3, 5,000, almost 6,000 sales. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of sales happening. I quickly will want to double check. Like I like to come over here and hover over the image, because remember we kind of specifically wanted to look at the bamboo tilting tray. And so these top ones here aren't that. So I'm actually going to click those off, which that's a good little trick here to know with this, is you can click off the little, you can click the trash can here and it'll remove products that you don't want in your data. And so I just want to look at these bamboo ones, so I'm going to leave just the bamboo ones. Now with the other ones clicked off, it's not 3,000 and 5,000 of the bamboo tray being sold, right? So had to look into that, click those away. And now we're looking at a more real picture of just these bamboo tilting trays. So this one right here is selling 900 every month. This one right here is selling 790. So those are still pretty good sales. There's definitely, there definitely could be a lot more sales happening. Like the more you do research and analyze a bunch of different products on Amazon, you'll definitely see that there's niche products that have way more demand than this. But if you look at the revenue, that equates to pretty decent revenue. It's like this top guy is making 54,000 in revenue. This guy right here is doing 29,000, and these guys right here 11, 14, 8. So there is definitely some demand for their product. There's a good number of sales happening every month for bamboo tilting trays. Let's come over here and take a look at shower curtains and see what the demand looks like. Okay, so when I sort the owl curtain sales column from high to low, see that the top sellers of these are only selling 300 to 400 of these every month, which is for $6,000 in revenue. So that's how you can gauge demand using Helium 10 X-ray. You just want to narrow in, hone in on specific products, and then look at how many sales they're making each month. Is it kind of small like this, where there's a couple hundred, few hundred, or is it a little bit bigger, like the data box is gone, but a little bit bigger where you're seeing, a couple thousand? And if watch, if we do this just to show you guys, if we go stainless steel water bottle. This one's super competitive, by the way, which I'm going to show you how to gauge competition, how competitive a product is right now. Okay, so if I come over here to the sales column, I'm going to sort it high to low, and you'll see that there's just crazy amounts of sales happening. 40,000, 30,000, 10,000, right? Extremely high demand for stainless steel water bottles. But now we need to look at, so this would be, if you see that type of demand, you definitely want to continue looking into that product. The next thing to look at is level of competition, right? Okay, there's tons of demand, but what's the market look like? Is it way too saturated? Is it too difficult for you to come in as a new seller and start to capture some of that market? And the way that we're going to gauge the level of competition is by how many reviews each of these products have. So there's a review column right here if we scroll to the right a little bit. And so you'll see that these top guys have 4,000 reviews, 7,000 reviews, 6,000 reviews, 4,000 reviews. And you have to think, and this is fact here, but just so you can understand like the reasoning behind it. When people go shop on Amazon, and like if you think about your shopping habits on Amazon, it's likely this. But if you go when you go shop on Amazon, you type in the product that you're looking for, and then how do you choose which one to buy out of the different options? Pretty much 95% of what that all boils down to is how many reviews does that product have, and how good are those reviews, meaning is it 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars. But the quantity of reviews is really going to be the main thing, and then the quality of those reviews, whether that's 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. So when it comes to launching a product, you want to, number one, make sure that there's demand for the product, that there's already sales happening for that product, people are searching for it and buying it. And number two, that there's low competition, meaning that the sellers already selling it don't have a ton of reviews, because if they already have a ton, people are going to choose them over you, and you're just not going to make any sales. But if they don't have a ton and there's high demand, that means people will start to choose and buy yours versus theirs, and you'll make a lot of sales that way. So in this case, when we look at this, tons of sales, great demand, but it's just way too competitive. The review count is way up into the hundreds, way up into the thousands, and that's going to be extremely difficult to pull off. I personally like to look for products that with under 50 reviews, and the less the better, but under 50 I can be making pretty good sales and pretty good money. So in this case I would never even get close to touching this. If we come over here and look at owl shower curtains and look at the review count, you'll see that it's less competitive than the stainless steel water bottle, right? There's not multiple sellers with 4,000, 7,000. There's one with a couple thousand, then there's some with a couple hundred, few hundred, and then there's even some with just 80 or 70, right? But even then, that's still way too many for me. And also, this is saying it would take 87 or 70 or whatever just to be making 100 to 200 sales, and that's just not what I'm looking for. But this is exactly what you want to do to gauge demand and competition. Now moving on to number 4, we're still going to be using X-ray. We're going to be looking at the sales history for each of these products. So let's say that so far it's all checking out, looking good. There's demand, there's low competition. Now we want to look at the sales history. And the sales history matters because if the product if we can look at the sales history and see that it's been consistently selling well for the past 6 months, a year, 2 years, then that shows that the demand for the product stays pretty consistent and is likely to continue that way. But if we look at the sales history and see that in November, December, there's this huge spike in sales, well then we know that that's a seasonal product and it's likely just because of the holidays in December and the New Year's that all those sales are happening, and so we may want to avoid that product and look for one with more consistent sales throughout the entire year. And then if you look at a product sales history and see that it's only has sales history for like 1 or 2 months, and you look at the other products that other people are selling of that same product, and also those have only been around for maybe 1 or 2 months, then that means it's a new product, which can mean a couple things. It could mean that maybe it's a product that's going to just keep increasing in demand and it's going to be a good product to sell, and maybe it's a really good time for you to get in and start selling it. But it also could mean that you just really have no idea what kind of demand there will be for that product in a month or 2 months or a year from now. But if you can look back and see that that demand's already been there for 6 months, a year, 2 years, it'll likely still be there moving forward. So to check out the sales history, you just come in here to this other sales column and click on the graphs. And then it'll bring up a bigger graph and it plots out the entire sales history for you. So by default it's set to 30 days, but if we want to look at all lifetime, click all time. And then, so it looks like January 2018 is when this product started selling. So it's been selling for 2 years now. So that's a good amount of time. And now you want to start to look at, well, how well has it been selling across those 2 years? And if you just hover over it, it'll give you all that data. So the sales here was making 50 a day. And right here, man, they look like they just killed it. They did 233 in a day. That might have been a giveaway or something right there, I don't know. But you just want to hover over here and see how many sales they've been making over the course of time. So they're making like 20 a day, 30 a day. But let's check more recently over the past like 6 months. It's more like 14 a day, 10 a day. And it's been that way since maybe April. So the past 6-8 months or so, it's been kind of more of like a 8 to 12 a day. And so you just want to keep doing that, click into these other ones, check them out, see what the sales history has been like for the products, and get a feel for, does this product have consistent demand? Has it had that consistent demand for a while? Is it seasonal? And all that sorts of stuff. All right, number 5 is going to be a little bit similar to number 4, where we were looking at sales history, but now we want to look at what let's call trend history. And so we're going to use a tool called TRENDSTER. So here back inside of Helium 10, I'm going to come over here to the left column and click on TRENDSTER. And now this is the TRENDSTER tool. So you can plug in an ACE. So let's let's do stainless steel this time. So let's grab this one. You can plug in the ACE in right here and click Start TRENDSTER, and it'll bring in that same kind of graph we were just looking at with a little bit more detail. You could go 24 hours if you wanted to. But then what I like to do right here is if you type in stainless steel water bottle and then click Start TRENDSTER. Oh, got to keep the ACE in there. Then over here on the right, it'll give you the Google Trends report on it. And you can go by day, week, month, or year. So let's go year. And we can see that stainless steel water bottle stays fairly consistent through, or at least through 2019, it stayed fairly consistent. But if we typed in something maybe like Christmas tree, that'll bring up the Google Trends report over here, and if we sort by the year, we can see that it spikes come Christmas time, so we can see that that's a seasonal trend, and we can also see that there's a similar spike in the trend on Amazon. So this is good for a couple of things. It's good for taking a deeper look into the sales history of the product, even though it's not sales history, but necessarily. But you can still get a feel for over the past year, 6 months, what's been going on with this product. And then it's also really good for, and this is for maybe a little more advanced Amazon FBA private label tactic, but if you're trying to launch a product on Amazon, private label an Amazon product, and then grow that into a brand that can exist off of Amazon and make sales off of Amazon, then looking at Google Trends may be something that you want to do, because because there are some products that just sell well on Amazon and aren't really going to sell well elsewhere. But if you want to find a product that can sell well elsewhere, then you might want to come in here, double check the Google Trends, and make sure that it's trending on Google, that it has good trends on that's trending well on Google and not just on Amazon. Okay, moving on to 6 now, we're going to be using a tool called CEREBRO, and what CEREBRO is going to allow us to do is look up our top competitors or the top sellers of whatever product we're looking at. We're going to look at the keywords that they're ranked for, and we're also going to be able to see the search volume associated with those keywords, and also get a pretty good feel for if we launch the product, would we be able to rank for that keyword? Do we want to rank for that keyword? All that sorts of stuff. So this is the tool that we're going to use here called CEREBRO, Reverse ASIN Lookup. So what you need to do is, I'm going to use a different product for this example. I'm going to use this one here called Inverted Umbrella. But what you need to do is go get the ASIN of the product that you want to for which you want to look up keywords. So if I run the X-ray box right here, I'm just going to grab one of these top sellers ASINs right here for this example, copy that, come over to the CEREBRO tool, throw it in the search bar, click exact ASIN match, and click get keywords. Okay, now it just pulled in all these search terms that this product is ranked for, and what number it's ranked for, and the search volume associated with each of those search terms. So right here we can see the different search terms, the different phrases: inverted umbrella, opposite umbrella, new umbrella. And then we've got the search volume column right here. So this inverted umbrella gets 11,000 searches a month. So that's quite a bit of searches. And then this far right column is where we will see the organic rank. And so if you want to figure out through which keyword someone's making most of their sales, it's going to be the combination of the keyword with the highest search volume that they're ranked the highest for. So this one right here, this inverted umbrella, has a search volume of 11,000, and their organic rank for it is #1. So they're definitely getting a bunch of their sales through inverted umbrella. And so if I'm looking into selling this product, I want to figure out which keyword do I need to rank for in order to make a lot of sales. And not only which keyword, but can I rank for that keyword? Because again, level of competition is going to matter a lot. And each keyword is going to have a different search volume and a different level of competition. So in this case, inverted umbrella is where most of their sales by far are going to be coming from. And by the way, you can sort the search volume column right here, and you can see that there's umbrella windproof, lightning deal. Okay, so some of these will be irrelevant, like lightning deals. Inside out might be too broad, but inverted umbrella, that's the keyword phrase with the highest search volume that they're ranked the highest for. So they're ranked #1 for inverted umbrella with 11,000 searches. That's where most of their sales are coming from. This one right here, they're ranked #12 for, umbrella rain. So they're probably getting a little bit of sales, but number 12 isn't super high. Like being ranked #1 for the keyword phrase inverted umbrella that has a search volume of 11,000, that's where most of their sales are coming from. So now what I want to do is figure out, can I rank for that keyword? Because if I can, then I can make a bunch of sales. But if I can't rank for that keyword, then I might not want to sell this product, because it looks like that's the keyword that they're really getting all of their sales from. So let's take a look at the keyword. Let's go here to Amazon, throw it in the search bar, pull up X-ray. All right, if I look at the sales column, I'm going to sort it high to low. So definitely tons of sales here, really, really strong demand. And if we look at the review count, way too competitive, thousands and thousands of reviews. So this keyword would just be way too competitive to rank for. So this section right here, we're down to kind of lower reviews, but look how many sales those sellers are getting, 59, 39 sales. So that's just way too competitive. There's no way you'd ever be able to rank for this keyword. So that's how you use Cerebro to figure out which keywords your competitors are ranked for and getting the most sales from, and whether or not you can or should rank for that keyword. And then another thing Cerebro is good for is figuring out which keywords you want to stuff your product listing with, right? Like which ones are the most important ones to have in your title, in your bullets, and in your description. And that's a perfect intro into number 8 here, which is how to find more keywords that are related to your product so that you can plug them into your listing, your title, your bullets, your description, but also into your PPC campaigns. And the tool that we're gonna use for this is Magnet 2 or Magnet Squared. I don't know. So Helium 10 came up with some crazy names for their tools. But over here, Magnet right here. So let's use the inverted umbrellas example still. So I'm going to type that in right here. Click Get Keywords. Okay, now it just generated a huge list of a bunch of different keywords for me that are related to the keyword that I just plugged in, along with the search volume for each of those keywords. So if we look at this here, umbrella automatic, umbrella for women, windproof, that has a search volume of 1,000. Windproof umbrella, automatic umbrella, reverse umbrella, compact. So you can just see that it's giving you all sorts of new keywords that you could plug into your campaigns. Now some of them may not be completely relevant, like popcorn kernel separator bowl probably has nothing to do with inverted umbrella. So you do need to be smart. Like you can just export lists from here and input them like into your campaigns, but it's definitely worth it to go through and read them and see if they make sense, because there will definitely be some inputted that don't make sense, like popcorn kernel separator bowl. But Magnet right there, that's a great way to just like that get a huge list of a bunch of keywords related to your product that you can go plug into your PPC campaigns. And guaranteed, if you do that, you will find some keywords that you just would not have found any other way that will be profitable, good converting keywords inside of your campaigns. Number 9 is going to be right here inside of Magnet as well, and this is going to be a great way to come up with product ideas. So number 2 in this video was kind of black box to get the ball rolling, but this is also another way to get the ball rolling / to really like niche down into a product. So let's take the tray example at the beginning of the video, like the eating tray, the sofa tray is what it was called, right? So sofa tray, when we did that search, it pulled in a bunch of different kinds of sofa trays, and then we kind of needed to narrow and hone into that bamboo tilting one. But another way we could have done that is just we could have come to here and typed in sofa tray, and even right here Helium 10's giving us some suggestions like sofa tray with cup holder. But let's just search this here, get keywords. Alright, so it just brought in a bunch of keywords related to the one that we just threw in there. And remember, we're trying to kind of niche down. Sofa tray is a little bit too broad. We want to figure out what kind of sofa tray, and so we're hoping that we'll find a keyword that will just tell us what kind, or at least tell us what kind to go do more research on. So table made, adjustable table, breakfast tray handle, serving tray bamboo, slide under couch table, slide under couch end table. That one might be worth looking into. That sounds kind of odd and strange. You can just click that arrow and it'll pull it up for you. Okay, so this, yeah, that worked good. This is a specific kind where it has that leg on the bottom that will slip under your couch. So that was perfect. We niched down, honed right into a niche product. Whoops. And so now what we want to do is run data, run the XRAY tool, and see what the demand and competition looks like here. So if we look at the sales column, a little bit of demand there. Let's sort it high to low. A little bit of demand there. Let's look at the review count. Definitely a bit competitive. That's hundreds and hundreds of reviews. So yeah, I would stay away from this one, but that was a great use of Magnet right there. Let's try this one more time. Let's throw in, let's just take bottles for example. So if I type in bottle, again, there's some suggestions right there like bottle brush, bottle warmer. Those would even be good ones to already just start to go plug in. Okay, here's a bunch of keywords related to bottle. So double insulated bottle, that could be one to look into. That's a super competitive one, but you know, again, like if we're starting with just a wide, broad word like bottle, now we know a very specific kind of bottle that we could go research and look into, a double insulated bottle. Let's see. See, like this one, water bottle time markings. Let's pull that up and take a look. So this is a very specific niche type of bottle, right? Let's run some data, X-ray. All right, so that's definitely a lot of sales happening. Review count looks a bit competitive. I'm gonna sort high to low here. Dang, 40,000, that's a lot. So yeah, pretty competitive, super competitive. Hundreds of reviews, thousands of reviews. So I wouldn't get into this product, but again, that was a great use of using Magnet to niche down and find different products to look into. So I thought for this last one, number 10, since I've done such a good job at helping you do product research, keywords, finding new products, demand, competition, all that good stuff, the main thing, like once you've figured all that out and you are at the point of launching a product, the main thing you're gonna need to make a bunch of sales is reviews. Like I said, that's the main determinant for people, for customers when they're shopping, when they're deciding between you or the other sellers of the same product, is how many reviews do you have and how good are your reviews. So for number 10, I want to talk to you about an essential strategy to getting more reviews on your listing, and it's using an email follow-up sequence. And what that means is when someone buys your product, you send out an email to them or a series of emails to get them to hopefully leave a review on your listing. And the way you get to that is over here in the top right corner of your Helium 10 dashboard. Just click that little grid and then click on Helium 10 follow-up. This is a really simple one I have set up right here. Order delivered, wait 1 day, and then send the email. And then right here it has a bunch of pre-made templates that you can just plug right in there, or you can completely customize your own however you want. But this is a great tool. It's really easy to put together and set up your sequences. And it's, like I said, it's essential for getting reviews. It's like you gotta have an email sequence set up that goes out to your customers once they purchase, enticing them and getting them to hopefully leave a review for you. Make sure and check out my full Amazon FBA playlist. I've got other really good product research videos in there and some other Helium 10 tutorials.